All right, hi my friends. We are back. We've been talking about transfer of energy. We talked about it with electricity, and then we talked about it with the marbles when we had the marbles roll down the ramps. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to make a chain reaction machine. Okay? So another word for a chain reaction machine is a Rube Goldberg machine. And what it is it's just a device or contraption that uses chain reactions to carry out a super simple task. So it does a very simple job in a very complicated and oftentimes funny way. Okay? So for example, if you look at this cartoon here, how to get rid of an olive pit, the guy throws it into the little funnel here. It comes down. This little dude uses a pool cue, shoots it. It goes into the other guy's hat, and the other guy leaves with it, right? So just silly stuff. What is a chain reaction? It's a series of events in which one causes the next to happen. Okay, so if you look here, I took some dominoes, and let's do that again. I took dominoes, and I set them up. One domino hits the next, hits the next, hits the next. When you stand your dominoes upright like this, instead of sideways or flat, it ends up having more stored energy in it. If it's flat, it doesn't have as much, but it takes less energy to set the domino up. So that's where the stored energy is coming from. So then as it falls, it passes that energy on to the next domino and it keeps on going. Okay? So there you go. So we might want to think of some simple machines that would make this easier for us to do. And in some more complex Rube Goldberg machines, they use a lot more of these, but you could still use them. So an inclined plane, basically it's a ramp, okay? It makes work easier. So this guy here trying to get the wheelbarrow full of sand up into the truck or up onto the higher level there, if he had to lift it up and put it there, it would take a lot more energy than for him to walk it up the ramp. Walking it up the ramp, it takes him longer to get there, but it's easier. It needs less force, even though it's going to take longer. Okay, so that's one simple machine. Hopefully in your chain reaction machine, you will have a ramp because the ramps are the easiest thing to use. Okay, another one is a lever. So the way that a lever works is you've got a balance point, a pivot point in it, and you'll have something sitting on it, and it'll just go back and forth. So it makes it to where if you need to lift something on this side, you push on this side and it'll go up. It takes less force than to actually lift it straight up and pull it up. But you could use this. You could use like a ruler and put a marker underneath it and it would make a pivot, right? A pulley is something else that works. So a pulley, you don't need this fancy thing over here. If you've got a piece of rope and it's hanging over a stick or over something and you pull it, it's easier to pull it than to physically lift whatever that thing is up. In your Rube Goldberg machine, you can take it where you have something on one end of it and something on the other, and maybe it somehow gets heavier and then it'll pull something up or it'll make something drop. But we've got pulleys in like in the MP room, there's a pulley system in the curtains that make the curtains open and close. There's a pulley system in the flagpole when you put the flag up. Cranes use a pulley system. So it just makes the work easier. You need less force. Okay? So your job today is you're going to take a simple task, simple task, and design a chain reaction machine to solve your problem in a very complicated and maybe silly way, right? Just make it fun. So things you could pick. These are just examples. You guys decide something, because as I was working, I came up with my own different idea that I wanted to do. You could make a marble or a ball go into a cup. You could make something pop a balloon. I saw one where somebody had a stuffed animal and they wanted a present to drop into the stuffed animal's lap. So that's an idea. You could have it open a door or ring a bell. Anything you want. I ended up coming up with, I've got a box that's open like this, and so my machine is going to close the lid to the box. Okay? It was easy for me and not too complicated. So things that you might want to use. Think about it. Use anything. You can use anything that your parents say it's okay to use. You need things that roll, like marbles or balls or cars or trains, a skateboard. I don't know why I have dominoes in there. Dominoes doesn't roll. Um, Roller skates, anything that's going to roll. You could use recyclables. You could use cereal boxes, paper towel rolls, anything. You want to have something that will make a ramp or an inclined plane, because then you can use gravity to help you get your stuff started. But for a ramp, you don't need anything fancy. If you've got track, like train tracks or Hot Wheel track, great. But if not, you could use paper towel rolls for your ramp. I used domino holders. So you could use books, trays, pipes, anything. You want to have maybe some things that can be tipped over, like dominoes or CD cases or Jenga pieces or books. And then anything else, like use your toys, look through your toys. You want to have some things that might move. You could use a fan, and that fan would push the air, which could then make reactions start happening. So be creative with the materials you're thinking of. If you're looking online at different Rube Goldberg machines or chain reaction machines, they have fancy, very complicated stuff. We're not doing it that way. We just want it to be simple. I want you to watch the transfer of energy and how the energy moves. So be creative, look around. The more I looked, the more ideas I got. So just keep looking and see what you can find. So this is what you're going to do. You need to pick your task. Okay, so mine ended up being I wanted to close the lid to this box. You could plan and draw out your design. I didn't draw mine out. I just started working and playing with it and seeing what I needed to do, and I kind of took notes on the side. But you have to kind of think through what you want to do, because if you're a real engineer, you're not just going to sit down and start building. Think it through. What do you want to do? So then you're going to start building your design, and you're going to test it. So you're going to build it, test it, build it, test it. If it works the first time, I might fall over because I will be so shocked. Mine, it took me a lot of times. So don't get frustrated. It might not work the first time. It might not work the 10th time. So just keep going and try and make it better, and just keep trying. And when it doesn't work, the biggest idea there is to say, why didn't it work? And try to solve that problem. So test your design, reflect and redesign it, test it, redesign, test it, redesign. Okay? And then if you guys want to share your designs with me, I would love to see them, and I would love to see you in the videos or in the pictures because I miss you guys. So you could email me at my Poway email. It's just S for Shannon, snellies@PowayUSD, just like the rest of your teachers, first initial, last name. I would love to see what you guys do. So send me what you do if you want. So then now I have mine set up, or I did mine already. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then you guys are going to go ahead and see what you can do. Okay? I have set up a simple chain reaction machine. It took me a while. My first try did not work. So when you're doing this, do not worry if it doesn't work. You can see I've tried lots of junk around my house. I just got stuff that I tried to use. I found one of my kids' fidget spinners, and I said, oh, I wonder if I can use that. I couldn't figure out how to use it. I've tried different balls. I tried a baseball, but the seams made it not roll as easily. So I'm sticking with a marble. Okay, over here I've lifted the edge of my ramp just a teeny bit so that it will get a little bit extra stored energy in there. Because remember when we talked about potential energy with the ramp before, the energy of height adds more stored energy in there. So I lifted it just a little bit so that we've got some gravity to get it moving. What's going to happen is the stored energy in the marble, the potential energy in the marble will roll down. It will hit the dominoes. One domino will hit the next, hit the next, hit the next, okay? Then it will hit a Jenga piece, which is like a larger domino. And then it will hit the next one, but this one wasn't heavy enough to knock the CD case over by itself. So I added a die on top just to give it a little bit of extra weight. So then the energy will go from this Jenga piece to the CD case, to the big Jenga piece, to this, it's just a domino holder. It's just like this ramp. And then ideally it will hit the purple milk crate and close the door over here. Okay? So let's see if we can make it happen. Okay? So I want you to notice too, where is their stored energy, the potential energy, and where is their the kinetic energy, and where is the energy being transferred. All right, you guys, don't get frustrated when it doesn't work. This is like, I don't know how many times I've tried to do this. So keep trying, okay? The other thing is it's a lot more fun to do it with your siblings, or if your parents aren't busy, but they might be busy, so. But it is more fun to do it with someone. Okay, you ready? Woohoo! And the lid closed. That's what you guys are doing. You can use dominoes. You can use, I don't know, I tried to use this Furkle thing, see if it could roll. Look around your house, just use stuff that you have. It doesn't have to be super fancy. If you look online at Rube Goldberg's and at Chain Reaction Machines, they tend to have super complicated ones, which ideally, yeah, that would be great. It would be fun. But really, I just want you to see I want you to see the transfer of energy from one object to the next. I want you to be aware of where the stored energy is and where the kinetic energy is. This was nothing fancy, and this took me a long time. So if you're making a really complicated one, it's gonna take you hours and hours and hours. So I don't need it to be really complicated, but if you guys do it, and if you wanna video it and send it to me, I would love to see you, and I would love to see what you come up with. And just email it to me at my Poway USD email, and I would love to see you guys. Okay? Have fun.